So, it was another mixed day on Wall Street. A little bit of optimism, a little bit of caution, and a lot of headlines to keep investors busy. Hey everyone, it's Wednesday morning, November 12th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. Alright, let's get started. The Dow hit a brand new all-time high on Tuesday, rising about 1.2% or more than 550 points, as optimism grew that Washington might finally be close to ending the record-long government shutdown. Meanwhile, the Standard & Poor's 500 edged up roughly 0.2%, while the Nasdaq slipped about 0.2%, dragged down mostly by weakness in big tech. The big story in tech came from SoftBank, which announced it sold its entire stake in Nvidia to fund its own AI investments. That move raised some eyebrows, since it comes right as Wall Street is questioning whether this massive AI spending wave can actually pay off. Nvidia shares dropped around 2.5%. Elsewhere in tech, CoreWeave, one of the rising names in AI infrastructure, slashed its full-year revenue forecast even though its quarterly numbers were solid. Its stock fell about 15% after the company blamed delays from one of its data center partners. Still, the overall market mood stayed positive, thanks to progress in Washington. Late Monday, the Senate passed a funding bill that now heads to the House for a vote, possibly as soon as today. If it passes, it would finally end this 41-day shutdown that's been weighing on everything from sentiment to economic data. A reopening would also mean long-delayed reports, like inflation and jobs data, could finally be released, giving investors and the Federal Reserve some much-needed clarity. But even if the government reopens this week, those reports could take a little time to catch up. In the meantime, private data is filling the gap. According to ADP, U.S. companies shed about 11,250 jobs per week during October, signaling that the labor market is losing a bit of steam. And on the global front, trade tensions popped back up. Experts say Beijing plans to keep its rare earth exports away from U.S. military use, even as shipments to other American buyers continue. So, while the Dow may be celebrating new highs, the rest of the market is still juggling a lot of uncertainty, from politics to tech to trade. Alright, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again tomorrow morning for more market updates. See you then.